Shri Rajiv Kapur ji with claps. And also our guest of honor is Andrea Stone. We want to begin on time, though some people are held up in lectures. They will come as and when possible. Also, those who wish to leave early because of other engagements like practicals, I request you to sit at the back and then move out very quietly. Okay? A very warm welcome to everybody. Happy day for me, especially on behalf of the Center for Mindfulness and Well-Being. I truly welcome you from the bottom of my heart to this function. At the outset, we would like to greet our guests with tokens of our love. Our principal, that is Principal Professor Suhas Pednekar, is a green chemistry person, so we have a tradition not to offer live flowers. Okay, instead, I call upon Professor Pednekar to greet Shri Rajiv Kapur ji with a memento. That is the college memento. These are lovely chocolates made by our own student, that is Rishika. And the card also has been made by another student, and it is again a token of our appreciation. Yes.
These are my best days.
Thank you. I would also call upon the principal to greet our guest of honor, Miss Andrea Stone, and I'll be introducing both of them shortly. There's a card with a peacock feather, Krishna's favorite, and a set of books. Okay? Thank you so much, Professor Pednekar. Now a little bit about our guests. Okay? I start with ladies first with Miss Andrea Stone. She has come all the way from Los Angeles. She is a Hollywood producer. She has made a wonderful, amazing film called Lullaby, and 2 other films already completed, and she's also got several projects in hand. She started her career as a casting director and worked herself up to this absolutely enviable position of producer at Hollywood. And we are really happy to have you with us. Her real identity is not this Hollywood business, but the fact that she is an extremely ardent seeker, very keen meditator. She can sit for long hours, and she is devotion personified. I have yet to come across somebody as devoted as Miss Andrea Stone. We welcome you, Andrea, amidst us. Okay? The BMN people can interact with her briefly after the talk, not during Shri Rajivji's talk, which is on self-awareness. Okay? And now, of course, I'd love to speak about dearest Shri Rajivji. Okay, it's such a special day for me, because I have received abundantly from him, and I would like to introduce him as a self-realized Advaita teacher and householder, as his website says. The website is www.rajivkapur, spelled this way, and with one word, no capitals, rajivkapur.com. Okay? And that's how he introduces himself. The home page is so simple, so humble, and calls himself just a teacher, whereas I think he's much more than that. Okay, I would say he is a fountain, I would say a gushing fountain of positivity and creativity, and also he is, I would say, a master blaster when it comes to challenges. And he says, Ane do, Andrea, that means come on, I can bat. You can throw all kinds of googlies and bouncers at me and I can take it. This is one thing I learned from Rajiv ji. Okay? And secondly, I also would like to say that he's an ocean of compassion. He has helped me out in various circumstances. The mantra he has given me, specially for me, because I have the worry gene in me, is everything happens for the best. Suraj, I hope you are listening. Okay? You and I share the same gene. Fine. Also, he is the author of a very, very useful, wonderful, astonishing autobiography. It's called The Autobiography of a Jnani. Jnani or Jnani as you wish. Okay? And this is a kind of spiritual guide for seekers who are keen on the path of self-inquiry. One would say it is one of the best expositions possible on the way one proceeds on the path of self-inquiry, and no wonder he has decided to speak today on self-awareness, because that is what he has mastered, and even now you will see he is 100% there, and he is absolutely full of love, as you will soon discover. It's going to be an interactive session and also some meditation at the end of it. If you go to the website, there are other articles, writings of his, so many of them. Also, you have video shoots. There is one recent writing that he has completed, and that's going to be turned eventually into an e-book. It is called A Commentary on Upadesha Saram, which is Sri Ramana Maharshi's set of 30 verses, and Sri Rajiv ji has come up with an excellent commentary upon it, okay, which also indicates to us the way he would like us to proceed. If you look at his journey, he has been a natural meditator, if I may say so. He remembers that at the age of 9 he was meditating. I'm sure he was meditating even earlier, but the earliest memory he has is at the age of 9. Okay? And thereafter, for 14 years, he did rigorous tapa or rigorous meditation. He did Kriya Yoga, which is very demanding, and he put his best over there. He was the best student possible of Kriya Yoga. And thereafter, by the grace of Sri Ramana himself, though he was not in his body then, but it is the grace of Sri Ramana that in December 2009, he attained self-realization. And since then, he has been guiding many seekers. Actually, we are very, very fortunate because Rajiv ji never gives public addresses. He only leads genuine seekers who are serious about finding themselves. And it is the sheer love that he has for seekers like us that has made him say yes. And so, a very, very big thank you on behalf of all of us. We must make the most out of this situation, because if you are open, receptive, and good listeners, I know that you are going to carry home a huge blessing today. Okay? With those words, I hand over to Rajiv ji, the mic, and not before welcoming among us Sri Raja Kodikal. I am so delighted to see him here. Last session, we paid our respects to late Deepaji Kodikal, but she's there with us in spirit, I know, with Rajaji. And I really thank you, sir, for being there with us. Okay? So, may I then request, Rajiv, would you like to sit and talk, or, yeah?
Sure.
And the marker pens are here if you wish to use it. Okay, the whiteboard. I forgot to mention one thing. He has also been not only guiding personally, he has been holding retreats even in America. He has already a large following, and in America he has had 2 retreats in LA already. Third one is coming up. Even here he has been holding retreats. There is one coming up in January. Those are 2-day rigorous meditation. But apart from that, he welcomes us in his own home. He doesn't charge anything and actually serves us snacks at the end of the satsang every Sunday. That is Rajiv ji for you. Okay? Thank you so much again, and I now invite you to take over.
The last part was a big motivator. Serving snacks at the end of the session. Well, I think I can go without this. Is it okay?
Can I sit here? Oh, really?
Oh. Okay. Okay? Sure. Okay. Well, thank you everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank Principal Dr. Professor Dr. Suhas Pennigan for having me here. Then Dr. Anjali, Vinande to be here, and to call me here to be, in front of so many wonderful people. Really wonderful. I feel so much nice being here to be in front of such a faculty members who are so keen to know about self-awareness. Most of all, I'm particularly impressed by the fact that this institute, Ramnarain Ruia College, has started a program like mindfulness. The responsibility of education institute, like a reputed institute like Ramnarain Ruia College, or any institute, should not just be about creating doctors, engineers, PhDs, but primarily to create good human beings, right? I mean, if you're not a good human being, there is no point being a PhD or a doctor or an engineer or anybody. You're missing the point. Our consciousness, our God-given gift that we have as human beings should be used for something that is for a divine purpose, for what we are born. And it doesn't matter what label we are, like it's all a label, right? We are a doctor, someone is an engineer, someone is something, but intrinsically, in essence, we have to feel ourselves as being human beings. That means we must not lack compassion, love for fellow beings. And I think if we achieve this one part, we achieve our divine goal. That's to be human. So, congratulations, Principal, Professor, and congratulations, Anjali, and all those people who are helping her to build up this wonderful initiative that has been taken, right? So can I start with the bowl or something? Yeah. Sorry about this. I can't get a line straight. Hello? Yes, everybody can hear me? Who can hear me? Raise your hands, please. Wow, wonderful. Great. I'm impressed actually. Now, I'm going to talk about self-awareness, right? self-awareness. I'm going to take it in two different words, as in two different words. One, self, the other is awareness. And I'm going to talk about awareness first. Then I'm going to come to the self part of it a little later. Now, let's make it a little bit interactive. Let's just speak to each other, right? Just not listen to me. Let's not make it a monologue, like I just speak, give a speech and you all listen. Often you don't even listen. I think sometimes you're worried about what's going to happen for your exams, your future and stuff. So let's get attention here. I'm going to ask you, how many of you feel that you exist? I mean, how many of you feel, okay, how many of you feel that you can breathe, you can listen, you can talk, you can walk? How many of you, please raise your hands. I think everybody here. It's remarkable. The one or two that I don't raise, I can help you guys, man. But anyway, 99% of you know that you exist, right? You know that you breathe, you know that you can talk, you know that you can walk, you know that you can taste, you know that you can smell. Now how many of you at that moment know that you can breathe? In that moment know that you can talk? In that moment know that you can observe your thoughts? In the moment know that you are walking? How many of you? Raise your hands. Few of them, yes. Most of us, no. That's where the point comes. Sometimes, not all the time. That's called awareness. What is it that compromises awareness? Why is it that at that moment we are not aware of what we are doing? How often we are taking a wonderful walk on a park and are we not aware of the fact that we are walking, that there are wonderful trees around us, that there's a car which makes a irritating noise, but it still is there. We all miss all the action. Where is our mind distracted? What compromises our awareness? Lack of attention, isn't it? Lack of attention to what is just here and now, in this present moment. This present moment offers to us wonderful gifts which we miss, really miss. And we get distracted to something which is not here and now, at this very moment. And what is that? What is not? A continuous, habitual stream of thoughts that's happening in the background. I'm constantly worried, stressed about something which I don't even know. I just miss it. Even if I'm talking, some of you are thinking about something else. And it's a habit. It's a continuous habit. Right? It keeps going on like a old machine playing around, on the background. And you don't know about it, but slowly it's sucking your energy, it's draining you of important prana. You don't know that. But it's a silent killer, like blood pressure. But anyway, coming to awareness. So the important thing about awareness is, the point here is attention. Pay attention to attention. This one. Attention brings us to this present moment. If I am attentive to everything, then I know awareness. So attention introduces me to awareness. Can I have a duster, sir? That's okay. You're all learning. Life is perpetual learning all the time, right? Okay. Now, I'm going to draw something. I want you to pay attention and tell me what you look and feel. Attention. What do you see? Anybody? Anyone who can do better? What do you see? Sorry, sir? Tiny figure. Okay. Raise yours. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Anybody else want to give a try? What do you see? A flowering plant. Wow. I'm learning what I just made. I am learning what I just made. Okay, great. Lonely creature out there. I think he's quite devil actually. Look at him smiling like that devil like that. Anyone else? Okay, fine. So, do you only see this? Do you not see that there are other things here? Do you not see that there is a blackboard on which this is imposed upon? Do you not see me there who just did this? You saw all of that. But when I asked you what did you see, you pointed out to a small figure that I just made. You assumed that I was going to ask you about a figure. I am not interested in this figure. It hardly looks good. My drawing is pathetic. What I meant to say was, attention is not concerned about a particular object. It is not focusing on one object. Attention is looking at the totality of what is. The totality. Do you understand the totality? It's like collecting everything in a moment. Everything. So, there is this funny figure that I just drew. There is this huge black, is it a blackboard? Whiteboard. Great. Okay. I was thinking about blackboards in my college. Anyway. So this is a whiteboard on which is drawn this funny figure. Some things about me written. Chairs, me, all of you. The space between us. All of it is what you can see and feel. Is it not true? Can you deny it? Anybody can deny it? That just by retaining this one gaze here and now, I can actually see and feel the totality. And how would you describe it as an experience? How would you describe it as an experience? When you collect all the objects that's available here and now in one moment, in one moment, you feel something, stillness, relaxation, just normal silence. It doesn't matter who's there in the objects. The objects will keep changing, they'll keep going and coming. But what remains always is this space, is this whiteboard, is this space, is the chairs, is the totality of everything. Anywhere you go, you can see number of trees, the cars, the buildings, and in between all of that, you can approach the space, right? And when you recognize this space, when you grasp and you consume all of the objects in one moment, you will connect to something which we call as awareness. Collecting everything in a moment is called as awareness. So it is not concentration, because concentration would have meant focusing on one object, whereas attention is much more expansive, much more vast, and so is awareness. So attention introduces us to. Very good. So if you're attentive to the movement, not to the object. It doesn't matter what object is there. Doesn't matter. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it liberating enough that you can actually feel silence without trying to focus on any point? You can feel silence without trying to concentrate on anything. You have to be just attentive. And when you are attentive, awareness seeps in. You just invite the awareness within you. You just invite it. Correct? Is that clear about awareness now? Now we come to the second one. Self-awareness. So now I come to self. I just spoke about looking and recognizing the space. Anytime you go, anywhere you walk, if you just recognize that you are here in this moment, then this awareness just seeps in. It just comes. You get an invitation about this awareness. You just invite it in your life. What is self now? Do you know from where everything is manifested? You see your world. You see the objects. You see your relationships with people. Your father, your mother, your husband, your wife, lovers. Your relationship with your teacher. The objects that you have and acquire, like car, house, everything of that. It's like a vast amount of objects that's around, and you are in constant interaction with these objects. daily in your life, where do they come from? They must be coming out from somewhere. They are created by somebody. You can call it God or whatever names you want to give it, but consciousness, God. But if I have to precisely point to a place from where all of it comes from, it has to be from somewhere within me, within you. You are the creator of everything. And I can give you a very simple thing. You don't have to go to a yogi or a break jnani for that. A very simple thing I can give you. It's a very simple fact. Every night when you all sleep, does your world appear then? Yes or no? It's gone. Poof. And when you get up, the world appears again. Right? So, the world is dependent upon your existence. You are the creator. You are the creator. You are the creator. The awareness seems to be, when I say about awareness, you all feel that it's this vastness, that big, huge expanse, which you call as awareness, space, stars, the moon, so many things around it. But the creator of all of that lies at a center within you. That's why when you get up in the morning, the world appears, the moon appears, the sun appears, everything appears. So now, putting attention to this awareness within myself, attention to myself is called as self. You know, a small seed has the potential to manifest a huge tree and forest. Similar is our body. We feel that this body is a very finite, a small, considered all the objects and the moon and the sun, but within this body lies the seed which can manifest this entire world. That's how it is. And to recognize an awareness, a center of being within me, within ourself, is called as self-awareness. That means turning your attention away from the world without getting distracted to the objects of the world, and to turn it at a center within myself. It's called as self-awareness. Right? I'll tell you a story about self-awareness. Everybody loves stories. There used to be a priest, an old priest, in a very remote village in India. He was a very pious man, very devoted, and he had an image of a god whom he used to keep and worship every day of his life, getting up at 4 a.m., the Brahma Muhurat, what we call, meditating on him, singing hymns of praises to the Lord, and offering him the sweets, the laddus and everything, the prasad and everything. You just offer to your deity, right? You offer it. One day he saw that while he was singing the hymns to the god, to his favorite god, a mouse came and ate the piece of laddu. Now he was an intelligent man, you know. He was not just devoted, he was also intelligent, which is very important. When he saw that, he questioned that how can the Lord that I am worshipping is not powerful enough to stop the mice from eating the prasad. I mean, I have so lovingly offered him to this Lord, and this Lord is just sitting and doing nothing. He just ate his meal. So, what kind of God is this? He's not so powerful. It has to be the mice seems to be more powerful than this God. So he quickly takes the mice in his hand, he ties him to the altar, removes the god from there, and puts the mice there. And he starts singing hymns to the mice. Om Juhai Nama. Om Ratai Nama. You know. Now, he does this for some time. And he's very happy because he just discovered a powerful god, the mice. Now a few days goes by and he sees that there is a cat which comes looking at the mice, and the mice is tied to the altar. It's a very easy meal for the cat, right? So he goes, the mice goes, and one day pounces on the mice and he eats the mice. The next morning, our very pious priest finds out that the mice is in a very, almost dead state. He's already eaten half of the mice, it's already dead. And he sees the cat has had half the mice. So he says, he's an intelligent man, right? So he feels, wow, this cat is more powerful than the mice. So he removes the mice from there, ties the cat to the altar, and he starts worshipping the cat. And he's very happy about it. Very happy. A few days goes by like that. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, there's a dog also in the neighborhood. The dog is very jealous of the cat, because suddenly the master has started to pour more attention to the cat than to him. So then one fine day he decides he needs to, take to task the cat, the powerful cat. So he goes and fights with the cat, almost finishes him, almost dead. The cat is bruised and bleeding like crazy. And our intelligent priest looks at it and says, wow, our dear dog seems to be more powerful than the cat. So he removes the cat from there and he puts a dog instead. Worships him. Again, same mantra he gives on him, and he is very happy. Now what happens after that is, the dog, you keep a dog in one place forever, he's going to be very unhappy about it. Anybody would be, right? So he's shouting all the time and barking all the time. So when he's barking, his wife, that is our priest's wife, is irritated with the dog one day. So what she does is she throws a big bar of stone or something on him, and she hurts the dog very much. Dog starts to bleed, and the first time the priest realizes that his wife is the God. I mean, he realizes it eventually. Every man who's married should realize that, but he realizes it too late. Anyway, so he goes, he puts the wife onto the altar. He says, you are my God, I'm going to worship you. It's been, I can see all the ladies laughing here. Yeah. I know why. Don't believe that's not going to happen. But anyway, so he puts her instead onto the altar and he starts doing puja on his wife and treats her like goddess. Right? Now, the wife is happy for a few days, of course. Every wife is very happy when she gets all the kind of attention from her husband, to be honest. Whatever she asks, he gives him. He gives her everything, whatever is there. It goes on for like a couple of months. The wife gets really bored of it. Because how long can anyone she says, stop all this nonsense now, it's enough. I'm done with you. I can't handle this. So he says, no, you're my goddess. You are the most powerful person. You are my goddess. She says, just get lost. I don't want to, just don't be near me anymore. And in a fit of anger, she says, what kind of worship is this that you're doing? You can't even have a relationship with me because you take me as a goddess. What kind of relationship is this? So he gets very angry and he slaps his wife. And in that fit of anger, he slaps his God. And then he realizes something. His wife is crying and weeping and he realizes, wow, I'm powerful. I'm more powerful than my wife. And he starts to become, he says, I don't want anybody. I'll start meditating on myself. And so his attention is brought to his own self. He worships his body, he worships his mind, till he realizes that the body, mind, energy, all of them are fluctuating. Sometimes the body is ill, sometimes the body is weak, sometimes the body is strong. Sometimes the mind is very positive, sometimes the mind is very negative. Sometimes my energy is high, sometimes my energy is low. So what is it? All of that is still transitory. It's fluctuating. What is it that's more constant? And he lands himself onto the word called as faith. Trust, faith, faith in himself. Faith that all is well, that everything that happens for good. It is all fine. That inner certitude, his body lands himself and he recognizes within him an infinite power of faith within himself. And he starts worshipping that. And that's where he lands himself into self-awareness. Self-awareness is all about loving yourself. It's all about recognizing this love, this feeling that something within me constantly remains while everything around me changes. You have to just know how to approach it. And the right way to approach it is, like I said, attention, and recognition, remembrance. Take some time out of your daily life. Stop whatever you are doing. Observe. Settle down within yourself. Stop what the thoughts are telling you. Don't believe all that because they're constantly changing. And try to connect within yourself something that's always constantly here. Something that's always constantly recognizable within you. And you will find that way. It doesn't require any degree of qualifications. It does not require anything. It just requires your intention, your honesty, and of perseverance to go with it. That's all. Okay? That's all. So if there is any questions that anybody wants to ask me, I would love to try and address them.
Students want to answer. It's not easy though, Rajiv, is it? To go into that awareness, all these negative emotions come up, anger, fear, and all that. So would you like to say something about that? Because you are suggesting there is a whiteboard within us, the empty space, but we never seem to connect with it. You're always playing with the stories on the surface.
You're trying to connect with it is the problem. It's always there. If you relax yourself in this moment and have firm faith and trust that it's here, you can all recognize it. If you can recognize your existence, that you exist, you can recognize that awareness right here. Absolutely. How many of you feel love in your life? See, if you all feel love all the time, there is nothing else you need to do. Trust me. Why is it going? Hello? Yeah, that's it. So, if you recognize love, that's all. The problem is, you do not recognize love all the time. Because you go into stories, because someone did something to you and you're paying attention to that. And so you're missing out on what you are. So the problem is not about not knowing or recognizing what you are. The problem is it's stopping recognition of what you're not. So all the stuff, all the stories and all the imaginations that you have created about yourself, stop doing all that and start to connect with what you are. You are Sat Chit Anand, your consciousness, your always existence, and your joy. Remember that. Never forget that. Never, for a moment, forget that. That you are anything apart from that. Your mind will always tell you that you are something else. Don't believe it. It's a fraud. The mind is the biggest fraud. It's a trickster. And we have been taught in this world to go by the mind, isn't it? That's the problem. That's the problem. We have to come back to intrinsically where we belong, to recognize our purity, in essence, what we really are. And it's a very simple recognition. Acceptance of whatever is. If someone is saying something to you and you have fear or you have insecurities, let it be. What's the big deal? It's in the mind. Let it be. Don't try to run away from it. Don't try to escape from all that. Doesn't matter. Let it be. Let it just remain the way it is. If there is fear, let the fear be. It's a part of your humanness. You're not trying to you're not trying to fix that, like how we try to fix everything in life. Stop fixing everything in life and let things just be the way they are. And you'll see it's so simple. It's very simple. Stop fixing everything. Let whatever happen, happen. What you have to do is, when everything is just happening, you are just centered to your being. That's all. So if someone is being nasty, which they would be, this is how the world works, you just be true to yourself. And if you are true to yourself, it doesn't matter. Because fear comes and fear goes. Illness comes and illness goes. everything that you can see in the relative world is coming and going. And what you are doing is, you are connecting to something that's always there. So connect to the truth. Right? It's much easier then.
Can you give us a taste of it now?
Taste of it?
Lead us into some kind of inwardness.
Okay, a few questions. Can I have something to drink first?
Now
My awareness says I'm thirsty.
Yes.
Just a bit. Thank you so much.
Any questions in between? Thank you so much for being here.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Suraj.
I wanted to ask that you said that if you're having fear, then just be aware that you are having fear.
Yes.
But, like, isn't there a need to resolve your psychologically resolve things in you, inside you? Like, for example, I have read 2 books. First book was which said that just see if there's a fear, see fear as fear. If your mind is thinking negative, see things as they are and be in your beingness. But another book which I read, it says that you have to change your thoughts. You have to ask yourself, where is this fear coming from? Because psychologically resolve things. You just not see. By just seeing things won't get resolved. So what is
Right.
it?
Well, burn both the books. Read your own book. Read yourself. The guy who wrote that book, giving 2 different perspectives based upon his experience, and the other person wrote about his experience. What's your experience? What happens to you? You are a world on your own. In your own world, you have something to write about your own self. Why do you want to follow somebody? I'm asking you this question, number 1. Second thing is, I think more than seeing and changing anything, try to be honest with yourself. You feel fear, feel it. Just feel it. What's wrong feeling it? Are you scared of feeling it?
No, but it's not comfortable.
I know. Life was not supposed to be comfortable, my friend. You want to go into comfort?
Like
You want to have, you see, as I said, if you're going to try and fix things, then you need therapist, right? But when you want to be a master of your own self, then you don't try to fix things. You take life and become an Arjuna, face it. What does the Mahabharata say? Face your fears. When his Gandhi dropped, what did Krishna say? Don't worry,